After losing his niece in an assassination attempt, Aiden Pierce, a street-smart hacker, uses his phone to take over a new operating system in Chicago to hunt down the criminals that killed his niece. This is my review of Watch Dogs. The first time I heard and saw about Watch Dogs was 2 years ago at E3 2012, where they showed like a video telling us what the concept was and a video showing the gameplay of Watch Dogs. And after I saw what Watch Dogs had to offer during 2012, I was like, yeah, that looks like an interesting game to play. And last year at E3 2013, they showed a little bit more gameplay for Watch Dogs, and it hyped it a little bit more for me. So after getting the game for Xbox 360 and playing it through, I have to tell you guys that I think Watch Dogs is a really good video game. The good points. What I thought was fascinating about this game was the concept behind Watch Dogs. And the concept is that you're this vigilante, and not just a regular vigilante, but this hacker as well, and you have this cell phone which is hooked up to the city mainframe, and you can control pretty much anything you want to in the city, including lights, the traffic lights, the security posts and everything. And not only can you control like everything inside the city, but you can control the suburban areas and the outskirts of the city as well. And another thing is that I like how your hacking powers aren't really overpowered in this game. I like how there's a limit to what you can do. Another thing I like about Watch Dogs are the gaming mechanics in this game, and I like how at the beginning of this game you have a specific set of mechanics. But as you gain more experience throughout the game, and when you do the side missions in the game, you start to get skill points. And once you get skill points, you can use those skill points for the skills tree, and you can upgrade your mechanics that you already have, or unlock mechanics that you don't have. And I like how in the skills tree, it's split up into different categories, and in each category it has its own subcategories as well. I also like how you can craft things in this game as well, because you can craft objects into an IED, or a blackout of the city, or jamming communications in the area. And I believe there are 6 different items that you can craft in this game. And on the spin wheel, you can only have 4 on the spin wheel at a time. But if you want to switch which item you want, you can just go to the spin wheel and change that item to a different item if you want to. And the same thing goes for the weapons in the spin wheel. Another thing I like about this game is that the NPCs around you can like have their own conversations. Is that the right term, NPCs? So, yeah, I believe so. But anyways, yeah, the NPCs can have their own conversations, or if you do like something bad, they can call the police on you. And I like that because it adds just a little bit amount more of realism into this game. Like I said before, there are side missions you can do in order to rack up skill points in order to use for the skill tree, but there are also like investigations as well as you play through the main campaign. And as you play through the main campaign, you can unlock investigations for you to do later on. And as for other side things, you can also check out any like tourist attractions in Chicago. You can check any areas that are popular in Chicago. You can play these mini games as well. As for the voice acting, I thought the voice actors did a good job of doing their lines and their dialogue in this game. And another thing is that I thought the writing overall was done well. The graphics for the most part were good for an Xbox 360 game. I almost forgot to say that the music in this game is done well too. I thought the original score was good, and I thought the copyrighted songs that they used from other artists was used well for the radio in the cars. And the final good thing I'll say about this game is that after you play through the main campaign, you can go back and play any side missions that you didn't finish, any investigations that you didn't finish, any mini games that you didn't finish, any of the tourist or popular areas that you didn't check out yet in Chicago or the surrounding area. And you can also still play the vigilante and stop crime throughout the city and the surrounding area too. The bad points. Really, I can only come up with 2 things that I didn't like about this game, and one of those things was some of the writing. And I say the writing because there are some moments where I don't understand the thought process of Aiden Pierce, who is the main character. Because I told you at the beginning for the plot that he's tracking down the people that attempted to assassinate him and the people that hired them. And during the middle of the campaign I was thinking, Aiden's actions are going to come back at him because he's threatening like the lives of the people that already killed his niece, but like they're probably going to like start to threaten like the rest of his family that's living in the Chicago area still. And if I was Aiden, I would have like tried to protect my family and be like, yeah, maybe you should get out of the city because some stuff might happen and I don't want you guys to get hurt because of me. Another thing that I didn't like about the writing is that there were some story elements that I thought were a little bit obvious to the players playing the game, but it seemed like the characters in the game were a little bit too dumb to understand. And I thought that there were some story elements that were a little bit confusing as well to me. And I'll get to that later in the spoiler section. The only other complaint I have about this game is some of the physics. Because after I played through the main campaign, I was like checking out and testing out all the physics in the game. And the first test I tried was shooting into like a body of water. And when I shot into the body of water, it didn't make that like little ploop. And when it happened, I was like, wait, what? So I unloaded like an entire clip into the water and it didn't make that ploop. And I was like, no way. So I tested it out with every weapon that I had and it didn't make that ploop in the water. And I was like, wow, that is a little bit dumb that the animators didn't make that ploop. And I don't know if that's because the people didn't include that or it's just a problem with my disc. And other than that thing, I thought that there were some other physics that could have been done a little bit better. So my rating for this game is a 3.5 out of 4 stars. I thought the concept was good, I thought the mechanics were done well, thought the voice acting was good, thought some of the writing was good, but the only problem was with some of the story elements and some of the character decisions and some of the physics in the game. Alright, spoilers for Watch Dogs. If you haven't played Watch Dogs yet, then get over here now because I'm going to be spoiling some stuff and I don't want you guys to be spoiled because I want you to experience it for yourself. I mean, is there a problem with that? So like I said before in the bad points, I thought that there were some story elements that were a little bit confusing, and I thought that there were some other story elements that I thought us the players would get from the get-go, but it seemed like the characters themselves like didn't understand. And one of those things would be with Aiden being a vigilante, because as I was going into the city during Act 2, I believe, I was listening to the music on the car radio, and then all of a sudden a news bulletin popped up, and it said that the identity of the vigilante is uncovered, and it is Aiden Pierce, and I was like, wait a second, that doesn't make any sense. Like, how do they know that I'm the vigilante? Because there was nothing in the storyline that indicated that the police or the mob knows that I'm the vigilante, so how do they know? And I don't believe it's explained later on in the game how, like, anybody knows I'm the vigilante. I don't believe so, but if you guys know how they know that Aiden Pierce is the vigilante, then comment down below, because I don't know. Another thing about Aiden Pierce being a vigilante is that I thought the sister knew that he was the vigilante, because she seemed to know that something was going on with him. Because during the flashback at the cemetery and during Jack's birthday party, it seems like the sister knows because she's given some indications that she knows something's going on with Aiden. So I went to the conclusion that she knew that Aiden was the vigilante since she knows that there's a vigilante in the city. But no, during Act 4 of the campaign, she finds out that Aiden is the vigilante, and when that happened, I was like, wait, I thought you already knew. So that was my review for Watch Dogs. Hope you guys liked it. And other than that, guys, that's it.